Yeah, Joe's he's travelled, but he's a major doubt. So again, we'll give him as long as possible, like we normally do with all the players, and we'll make a decision on it tomorrow. And obviously, James Forrest hasn't travelled due to an illness. Neil Beaton has joined the group today, so he's training tonight, and will come into contention for the place. Everything basically we've worked on since being eliminated from the competition in February by Juventus has been geared for the start tomorrow evening, and I'm very happy with the way the players dealt with the huge pressure they were under in the qualification games, and now that is a different kind of pressure. It's a pressure where can we compete? The expectation level isn't so high as it was previously, but now we set a new set of challenges for the players to can they emulate what they did last year. It's going to be hugely difficult, we know, but the experience they gained last year, considering the majority of them had the first time in the Champions League, that experience will hopefully stand them in good stead coming into this campaign. We went to watch them on Saturday evening in Torino. They did change the system, and I would imagine that with the personnel we have available, probably stay with the system, although it won't really change our thinking and the way we were going to approach the game. The only thing it'll give them is an idea of what they're going to come up against again tomorrow and throughout this campaign. As George just said, that was last season. This is new season. There's been a change of personnel within the squad. We're still trying to integrate some of them into the squad, but the core of the squad that was here last year will be, stalwarts for this campaign, and they can take a lot from that experience. However, we didn't play Milan last year. Different team, different type of football team, different footballing culture. So we have to adapt very quickly to what Milan bring to the game tomorrow. Juventus at the time were, the champions and flying high and going very well in the domestic league. This is very early on in everyone's respective season. You hope to catch Milan cold a little bit, because the coach probably hasn't had the chance to really stake down his team, and get a consistent run of players and consistent run of form. So it's very difficult to make comparisons to Juventus and Milan of this year. It's very unfortunate for him that these injuries have come at all the one time, and it's not an ideal situation for him. But I'm sure as the season progresses and the campaign progresses, Milan will, as always, will get better and stronger as they go on. And I can't look too much into Milan's problems. I've got to concentrate on my own. The fact that he could bring Matri into the team tomorrow, who cost a lot of money, money that myself or my board of directors can only dream of paying for players. I can't really offer up a lot of sympathy at this stage for him. Balotelli is a wonderful footballer. Having seen him live for the first time on Saturday, he's very powerful, very skillful, takes the ball in under pressure from people, and he likes to get them turned, and when he's in full flow, he's very, very quick and strong and can hold defenders off. Good finisher. He's got, people question his temperament, but I would have him in my team if I had the opportunity. He was very popular in England and Manchester, and I think he's young. He's got so much ahead of him in terms of his career. In terms of Milan themselves, I played here in 2007 when they went on to win the Champions League. I think looking at their team last year, they look a lot younger now, almost as if the club was in a transitional phase of maybe bringing in younger players and developing them on, and rather than the old experienced players that they would have had in 2007, the likes of Maldini and Gattuso and Inzaghi and those types of players. So they maybe had to have a rethink about their philosophy going forward. I may be wrong, but that's just the impression I got looking at them particularly last season in the two Barcelona games when they played with so much zest and energy and enthusiasm. A lot of players at the forefront of my thoughts. So Anthony's playing very well. He's in a good vein of form, and he's done his chances of starting no harm at all with his recent performances. We just got to think about one position really, and we'll talk about that tonight and tomorrow, and then make a decision tomorrow afternoon. I think it's very difficult to set your team out to play for a draw, because there's so many variables and things that can go right or things that can go wrong. We always set our team out to try and win, and tomorrow night will be no different. As for the injured players, we lost Stephen Mayakolo to a very bad Achilles injury. He had surgery last week in France, so he's out for 6 months. And the only doubt we have, James Forrest has a virus at the minute, so he hasn't travelled. And the only major doubt we have with the boys that have travelled is Joe Ledley, who has a groin problem at the minute.